Everybody is a leader. If you cannot lead yourself, you can't lead others. So leadership starts with self. So self-leadership is key in managing in the VUCA world. Self-leadership is the practice of intentionally influencing your thinking, feelings, and actions towards achieving your goals and objectives. You have to be intentional about it. There are no two ways about it. You must be intentional. You can't do it anyhow. If you do it anyhow, you get anyhow results. So you must be intentional in managing yourself, in leading yourself, and leading others. It is about choosing who we are, what we do, and who we become. Is it not what we're talking about in self-awareness and self-discovery? Choosing who we are, you must identify who you are, what you do, what are you good at, what is your talent, have you discovered it? Your talent is your money-making machine. But that talent must be transformed to skills. It should not be in the raw state. If it's in the raw state, you won't make as much money. But when you now brush it up and it becomes a skill, it becomes your money-making machine. And what do we become? At the end of the day, what will you be remembered for? That is leadership, self-leadership. Then self-leadership is not about managing others. It's about leading yourself. It is about being self-disciplined. You cannot lead yourself until you're disciplined. And that's why it's important for you to know your core values, your personal governance policies. If you don't have your ideologies or personal governance policies, you cannot be a good leader of yourself. So having said that, are you a leader or are you a manager? This question we must answer. Are you a leader or a manager? Remember I said that all leaders are managers, but not all managers are leaders. Are we correct? So you know why I say so. Leadership is all about influence, and that's why I said all leaders are managers, but not all managers. Leaders create or set visions. Managers set goals and execute the vision. So managers are operational people. Leaders are change agents. Managers maintain the status quo or react to change. Am I making sense? You can use yourself or your organization or your department to confirm what I'm saying. Leaders are unique, but managers are copycats. You know, leaders come up with, they are visionaries, so they come up with innovations. They're always forward thinking. But managers want to make sure that the process of doing this thing and achieving the work is maintained. Leaders take risks, managers control risk. Are we together? You know whether you're a leader or a manager today after this. Leaders think long-term or are strategic in thinking, while managers think short-term or very operational. Leaders grow personally. Managers rely on existing or proven skills. A leader wants to do personal development. What he knows today, he wants to know what is happening tomorrow. But managers are using the ones that they have tested and proven in the past before they can do anything. Leaders are people-focused. They build people and relationships. Managers are structure-focused, build systems and processes. So you see, when I had some managers as leaders, that was why I was having problems with them. Are you understanding now? And I'm sure some of us are in that shoe today. Leaders coach by encouraging ideas. Managers direct by assigning tasks. Many of us, like me, when you want to kill my idea, I know they agree. Do you understand? If I had understood that I had a manager as a leader, I would be able to know how to manage him by trying to kill my ideas. I would know how to encourage myself, but I didn't know better then. Then leaders coach by encouraging, the repetition. Managers do things right, while leaders do the right things. I know you have to think a little bit to understand this. In other words, managers are very efficient on the job, while leaders are very effective in the organization. You can be the best doctor, but you may not be the most effective doctor. You know why? You need some soft issues, some personal development issues to turn out to be the best doctor. Yes, you're a surgeon, you're good at your job, but you need to manage human beings. You must have some attributes of relationship management for people to like you as the best surgeon. Am I making sense in what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to explain that point so that you understand. So it can be efficient but not effective. That's what he's saying. Number 10, You can be an efficient person on your job, but you may not be an effective person. Because you need other soft issues or other personal development attributes for you to be able to be efficient. Managers are authoritative while leaders are charismatic. A manager is operation based. He wants to achieve his task. They've set a task for him. So he just wants to get it done. But a leader knows that if you don't have a willing horse, you cannot achieve that task. So they will be charismatic and cajole you and make sure that you are okay to get the best out of you. So leaders earn the respect of others with their charisma and make others follow them. This is why leaders create fans and managers have employees. You know, there are some of your bosses that you won't even allow anybody to say anything bad about them, because you have seen them. They are nice people. They have touched lives in the organization. So anyway you call their name, people can die for them. Just like some of the testimonies they were given about Herbert Mwigwe, there are people in that organization that could die for that man. Do you understand? So that's what we are talking about. How do your people feel about you? Are you a 360 degrees leader, or you're a 90 degrees leader, or 180 degrees or 45 degrees? So you have to be a 360 degrees leader for you to attain this leadership role we are talking about, being charismatic. Because when you have the heart of your staff, you get the best of them. But if you just have their hand, forget it. You won't go far. So the last but not the least, leaders inspire and influence while managers control. Managers are controllers and think with their brains, while leaders are passionate and think with their hearts alongside their brains. Leaders know the importance of God feeling and believe in their 86 senses. So with that, I want us to go home and think, where do I belong? If you're just a manager, please try and become a leader and manager at the same time. If you're a leader, that means you have lived above what we're talking about. So who is an agile leader? An agile leader is anyone who spots a change or opportunity and effectively respond. An agile leader is not reactive. So you must be an agile leader to function in the VUCA world today. That's what we're saying. Because you'll be inspiring a shared vision that guides organization through uncertainty. That is what an agile leader does. You communicate a compelling narrative that aligns with the organizational purpose. Remember I said you must discover your personal purpose and align it with that other. When there's a clash between your personal purpose and organizational purpose, there's always a problem. You can't even drive the purpose through your team members. So that is part of it. Then embracing adaptability and flexibility in response to change. If you are reactive and not forward-thinking, not proactive, then you cannot be an agile leader and you won't be able to function in this VUCA world. You must encourage a culture of continuous learning and innovation. Many of us from this part of the world, we don't. I'm sure we're supposed to be more than this in this class. And look at empty seats. So no knowledge is a waste. Do you know that research has it that the more you learn, the older you live? Their knowledge has to do with longevity. Have you read about that in your research? If you go to like places like Canada, if you go to the library or abroad, who you see are people in their 80s. Those are the people you see in the library. So once somebody called one of them one and said, why is this place filled up with old people? The way I laughed. Why do you think that lawyers lived in those days? Not now that they chop bribe and dine out of. In those days, you see lawyers live up to 90, 80. Is it not? It was very synonymous with the legal profession. Because they continuously read. So reading has to do with our, it has whatever relationship with our longevity. So if you are not reading, because you're engaging your brain, the more you engage in your brain, the more it's expanding, the more it's active and alive. And that's why they say when you retire and go to the village, the people easily die. But if you see people that have retired and are still active, they live longer. Am I correct? So this is it. So number 4, before we rush down, what time? Okay, timekeeper. We are stopping by 12. So the number 4 thing we're going to consider for us to function in the vocal world is collaboration and networking. Like I said, the world is not just a global sitting room anymore. It's in a global palm. The globe is in the palm now with our handset. So collaboration and networking is something, if you're not good at it. You know, when I went into networking profession to do some exploits, you tell people about maybe promoting a product or a service. They say, no, I'm not a networker. But we keep networking every day. Somebody will say, oh, Tony, I like this your gown. Where did you get it? I say, oh, it's one lady that made it for me. I bought it from one shop. Please, can I have the contact? I'll give you. Your hair, uncle, I will give you. You go and buy. The lady has made money. You have not paid me any commission. Oh. The lady you bought from did not pay me any commission. But transaction has happened. And networking or collaboration said, do this thing for me. Don't do it free of charge anymore. I'll pay you. And some people will shy away from it. Please find something and network to get some dollars or some pounds in product or service alongside what you're doing, but no clash of interest. So in collaboration, we'll build strong partnership and alliances. Today in the world, you can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. This training now, nothing stops our branch chairman or chapter chairman to get somebody to take through all these courses. But you find out that variety is the source of life. The aspect I'll come from to do what I'm doing is not the same angle that another person will come. So you must bring different people to come and collaborate with him. And if he decides to handle it himself, he can't handle all of them. So he's bringing people from different and have the best out of the whole thing. So collaboration is very, very important. Partnership, collaboration. If you're not partnering with anybody in what you're doing, even families, there are some successful families, you see that the husband and wife, they are living well, their children are well behaved. If you're having issues, those are the kind of people you need to go and find out how they do with your children, that they're making them behave like this. Do you understand? You learn some secrets. For every business or whatever you're doing, there is what is called trade secrets. So if you don't know it, you can never succeed. So leveraging collective intelligence to navigate complex challenges is part of it. Emotional intelligence, understanding and managing emotions in oneself and others. That's where everything still boils down your mindset and self-discovery. That's why I took that self-discovery for, I think there are about 5 different schools of thought in self-discovery. Because once you can discover yourself, the rest is history. Then the last but not least is building strong interpersonal relationships to navigate ambiguity effectively. You see, relationship is everything. There are so many things you will spend millions to do, or you even with your millions, you can't get them. But with relationship, just a phone call, a word, that thing is done. So don't underrate anybody. I tell people, you see your driver, your cook, and your security people, they are the most influential people in your life when it comes to big men. But you find out that many people maltreat these people because they feel at their level. But these people have your life like this. If they want to give information security, they'll, Oga, they have make una come now. You're gone. Is it your cook? If you put one sniper drop or this in your food, do you understand? Is it your driver? If you decide to run you to bush or run you to criminals, do you understand? So we must manage every relationship, balance them, because interpersonal relationship, God cannot come from above and do things. He must pass through a medium, and that medium is you and I. There are so many things you may be looking for just by discussing it casually with somebody. Okay, my friend told me the other day, there was something he was looking at Abuja. The Uber driver that was carrying him just told him, Oga, maybe he made a call. The guy heard something he said. So, Oga, I like you the way you've been working with me. Because anywhere he's eating, he'll tell the Uber guy, he takes him around for like a day. He said, boy, come order waiting you go eat. Oh. Do you understand? So the guy was like, not knowing that this guy was a graduate and had connection with military guys, top generals. He said, Oga, the way we don't work, I go help you connect you to General so and so. My friend stayed in shock first. And they were all the plans they were doing. This Uber driver was the one that drove him and gave him access to the general. Before he could come back to the team to report how far he had gone, everybody was like, wow. What would have taken them like months, Uber driver. So let's be very, very careful how we treat people and how we underrate people around us, because relationship is very, very key. The last but not the least is decisive action. If we have to function or manage in this VUCA world, we must be decisive in our action. After all said and done, all these things we have talked about here today, if you go home, you don't do anything, it's as good as you've not started, is it not? So action is the last but not the least we are going to talk about in all the key factors that can help us manage in the VUCA world. So, and in taking action means making informed and timely decisions, balancing the need for speed with the importance of thoughtful analysis. Overanalysis brings paralysis. Don't analyze and overanalyze that the situations are getting bad and worse. You should be able to marry or balance the need for speed. Don't overspeed too that you crash without achieving your result. Do you understand? So all we need is balancing. We must balance the speed with the importance of thoughtful analysis. Then we must know when to make, facilitate, or delegate decision making. This is a major problem that most leaders have. Delegation. At times you over-delegate, at times you under-delegate, at times you don't delegate at all. So we must know when to make, facilitate, or delegate decision making. So if you understand this, then you know when your role, you're optimizing your role and your position. So having said that, I want us to look at some case studies, maybe 10-15 minutes, and that will be it for today. Mr. Tony Numelu, Standard Trust, we're looking at VUCA, people that have succeeded in this VUCA world, people that have done something extraordinary. We look at Peak and Cowbell. Remember that when Cowbell came with Sachet, Peak Milk was busy bragging. Let's see how far they will go. By the time they swept the buses, and now we now have Peak Milk in. So you must think outside the box. So let's use our organization as a case study. What do you think we can do to better our organization in this VUCA world? Having understood what VUCA means, having known the effect of VUCA in managing an organization, having known some things we can do to manage in the VUCA world. So the first step, in conclusion, I would say, the first step in terming the VUCA world is to identify which of its component parts you are dealing with, because each part has its own cause and effect, and conversely, each situation has its own solution as well. Secondly, we therefore need to counter volatility with vision, meet uncertainty with understanding, react to complexity with clarity, and fight ambiguity with agility to thrive in the VUCA world. Thank you very much. So this is our assignment, 10-15 minutes, and we're done. Which VUCA characteristics? Remember we said the volatility, the complexity, they have their, you can't carry all of them and say you want to solve all the problem at the same time. If you want to handle volatility, please, the cause and effect is different. If you want to handle ambiguity, the cause and effect is different. If anyone, so we need to know which VUCA characteristics are most relevant to your challenges and opportunities you're confronting in your organization, department, team, or your role as a leader. How are you and your colleagues and customers leading through VUCA? So these assignments we'll do, and we'll just have team leaders present, 2-3 minutes presentation, and we are good to go. Thank you very much, and thank you for listening and having me do the presentation with you today. So how many groups are we going to have? Maybe 3? I think 3 groups are okay. We'll do, yes? You have a question? Okay. Okay, thank you. So, quick one. Let's just have three groups. Maybe here one, here one, and here another group. Three, ba? I think three groups are okay. So let's do, because the next facilitator will soon come. What's the time? 12. Okay, we did good with the time. Please, equally help me fill my form because I'll be rushing out very soon. If you are done with it, you can send to Ify. Thank you very much. I hope you had a good time. It was what time out? Yes, now. The presentation will finish. No. Just, we are not doing as if we are in a hurry. Let's, three groups. Here, here, and another three. Please, let's form three groups and answer question. Are you done with this? Let me get to the question. This is the question. All right. Thank you very much. It was nice talking with you today. Nat, please help with the group. Three groups. Mm. Yes, three groups. So these ones can be here.
So, bro, these people here.
Yes, join.
These two are group.
Then here.
No, I think you just this side one group. This side one group.
Okay, two groups.
Yes, two
Oh,
groups.
no, but this
Okay,
side
you
there
want
are
three?
more.
Okay, three.
I wanted three now so that we can balance it up.
So this is one group. One group.
Yes, and the back. Exactly. So let's do and. Feeling personally
VUCA world, a world that is volatile, with uncertain, that is complex and ambiguous. You know, in NDDC, VUCA happens to us because of lots of changes, leadership changes, policy changes, even the uncertainties we say and ambiguity. Some today they'll tell you somebody is doing special promotion. Tomorrow somebody is transferred from one thing or the other to the next thing they will say, oh, new policy direction, which most times follows which president is in power. So how can we identify the challenges that we have in NDC in this kind of environment? One. Two, what are the opportunities that are available? What does it present? There should be the pros and the cons. So that's the first thing we should do. So anybody who has anything, let's just.
I think you just said it on the first question. You gave a better understanding about it. Looking at our circumstances, our organization, you mentioned some of the things that we see that this vocal can be complexity.
By the volatility, we are talking about leadership changes.
Leadership changes.
Even now that you have a functional board that says their letter says 4 years, you're still afraid that one day somebody will just get up and say,
yes, this board is undeserved. So it's also part of uncertainty too, because we are not, it's not certain. We have never had a board that spent on my own, that spent 4 years.
well, we've had two
We've
boards.
had two boards. We used to have two boards.
Like that.
In the space of time,
Just recently.
of recently, there are no boards that happen. So that uncertainty is always there.
In fact, it's not even recent. If you start to count from 2011.
Yes. So it's a long time. So it's a long time. So we can use that to measure it.
So what has it affected us? How has it impacted us, this different changes? Ineffective policies. One, lack of let's say poor implementation, because you cannot say really lack. When you talk about, oh, why do we have abandoned projects? Why do we have this? Why do we have that? You have programs that are even carried out. For instance, in my directorate, there was a welding program that we just finished in January. You believe that program was conceptualized in 2018, and they could not implement it till December last year. And of course, the consultant lost because they said we are not changing the rates. If you want to do this, you do it on 2018 rates.
It's not fair, man.
Very unfair. So, poor implementation of policies, projects. Okay, look at Obianembe Road, Lauderdale program. Designed in 2005. I was in the team. I did the implementation agreement, worked with Shell lawyers, Shell staff. We were part of that team. Yet, we could not be able to commission the road. We've not commissioned it. When? Rebecca. When the MD is still talking about commission, they have to rehabilitate the road again. Some places that collapse. You're talking of 20 years, almost 20 years after. We're trying to commission a road, even though it's functional. But why? It's because of different leadership changes. Then you also have the uncertainties, release of funds. Oh, you have what they call the allocation, monthly allocation. Something happens, the allocation is not released. Or when it comes, there's a directive in Abuja to divert it. Or when the funds go for the budget defense, some projects are pulled out and others replaced. Then you have 0.00 placed against existing projects that have
Started running.
so now, I said, what are the opportunities that is presenting itself now? And what is our role as leaders? What can we do to counter this VUCA world that we're in? What can we do? You can't really say advocacy because
misappropriated because when it comes, there's always a preferential for pay this or pay this. When advocacy comes, there's always, with the internet which we have now, there's always something to say, oh yes, true, Niger Delta was created for this. We have not impacted on it. National Assembly, what have we done? So in a way, even if though you know you are not doing it, because that is what the direction of the MD is now. Pay all allowances to staff, then not shout while we continue going the way we are going. But if they know, yes, as good leaders, like we are now, they're giving us ability, okay, go to school approval on your part-time. You go to school, you find new discovery, you bring it back as managers. Put it in a memo, sir, please kindly approve. And this seeing that knows very well, these people are still abreast with current realities. And with those advocacy and memos, there's bound to be.
So can you on your own now get up and start writing a memo because of something you're upset? Will you not be seen as
You'll be seen as a stubborn staff.
as a
As a stubborn staff.
instead of a someone staff, you can be seen as somebody who is going beyond their job description.
Yes.
So what do? You look for opportunities on your own job role. For instance, if you talk about principles, like she was talking about principles she said for herself, that she will not do this, she will not do this, she will not do this. Can we say that we can create principles of work or ensure that the principles that exist, standardized principles worldwide, we apply them?
Yes. Yes.
This
You do.
SOP that
They're working on.
they're working on, we should actually ensure that we implement it, not only on paper.
We implement it because of the vision which we have. You know, we are still with our missions and our visions. So the SOP must align. And as good managers, we must make sure that vision stays on the path which it was created for. So the opportunities don't slide, but rather we see how to improve.
How about communication strategies? Because
Very key.
with all these government
Yes, very key.
keep stopping us off one thing where they say we're not performing. And we have to keep saying we're performing. For those of us who were in the board retreat in February, to see that the MD speech was trying to say we are performing. And despite all that we've gone through, we are performing. I remember the first they were asking a question and they're asking us for ourselves. I was of the view that we were doing okay, we do better. Some other people said the same thing. We're scoring ourselves 50%, 60%. So we have to have communication strategies to show
think they will correct you.
ihe jiri ka Major General, the former Minister in Defense, and I'm not from that family. I'm not even from there, sir. Okay. Okay. We talked about, for question one, I'll go through the challenges. One of the challenges we One of the challenges we have in our organization is change in leadership. Some don't spend their tenures, at times in a year or in a season, we have different leadership, and this could affect our activities. Then also funding from federal government. And this, under the leadership now, because of the change in leadership, this could lead to poor policy implementation, and has also resulted in the commission having loads of financial obligations to meet. And also for funding, at some point, because of the change in leadership, the National Assembly now gave instruction that most of the funding should go through EFCC. The oil company should be remitting funds through EFCC. And then if we need funds, we will now have to go through EFCC to get our funds. This also hampered some of our activities because we couldn't meet some of our obligations. But now what happened then was that we had to engage. We had to start discussing. We had to dialogue to be able to get some of our remittances to carry out some of our activities then. Under the opportunities as public servants, because of our limitations, because when you come into public service, you are meant to take oath of secrecy. So you are not meant to divulge a lot of information. So, we used our opportunity through advising the leadership, advising them that, Oga, yes, this is our problem, but we could go this way, And then we also had challenges for our stakeholders, and we had to start engaging them, having meetings with them, both with the chiefs, the traditional rulers, the national assemblies. We did a lot of engagement with them to be able to calm some of the challenges. Then that's why we are having some level of peace now. Then we advise them. We also dialogue, even on our own different levels. From our different units, we're able to advise, like some of us in CID, we're able to reach out. If you could remember 2020, EHSS had a lot of challenges with scholarships. Students were always writing, going online, social media, trying to blacklist the commission. But we're able to address this thing by having regular meetings with those students, and also having regular meetings with CBN and also the EFCC for them to remit their school fees, their scholarship fees to them. That was how we were able to address that. Then this other one, how are your colleagues, customers, blah, blah, blah. Now, under our levels, we have roles to play in the midst of this vocal world. What are our challenges? You try to resolve it in your own little ways. We all have our own personal core values. We have our own personal beliefs. Me, I personally believe that where I'm working has a long time, NDDC must not die. It came for a reason, and my own duty is to make sure that I sustain that vision and make sure that it does not die. So what am I supposed to do? My own is to propagate the place. Any opportunity I have to promote it, to promote the good image of my commission, I do that. When the contractors, when they are complaining about their finances and all that, what I do is, what I tell them, Oga, they'll pay you, but just be patient, And we thank God for the current management. They are working towards that, and they are meeting up with their liabilities. Then also with my colleagues, how are you and your colleagues, customers? I've talked about customers containing because our customers are the vendors, our contractors. Then for my colleagues, is for us to always remember that we have core values as civil servants. Believe, apart from your own personal values, we also have the civil service core values. One of them is integrity. Another is transparency. These core values, you should never forget them. Also, loyalty is one of them that we should not forget. Thank you very much.
Wow, 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 wow. That's good. That's good. But the area I didn't really quite speak what you said in terms of opportunities. Opportunities. Yes, I didn't quite get what you tried to explain there. The characteristics they say, which vocal characteristics are most relevant to the challenges and opportunities? So, challenges the leadership problem, which you highlighted. Then the opportunity is what I didn't catch.
I said that we advise that what we do is we advocate, engage
Okay.
them, engage them, do engagement with top stakeholders.
All right.
Assembly, even the board members will conduct engagement retreats for them.
I think it's only deliverance that we need in this NDDC. Which one is the money they pass through FCC?
Yes, it has stopped.
Ah, you've been delivered now.
It was a challenge then.
It's unheard of in the banking or financial. How can people were supposed to they pursue this thing, they become bankers? Hey, Chineke. So can we appreciate them once more? That was good. So group 2.
Good day, Lecturer Tonia. Good day, everyone. Thank you very much. So, Group 2 concentrates on VUCA in the Commission, and then we are going by the order of the acronym V, U, C, and A. We tried. So, for the volatility, as Nigerians, when we hear the word volatility, we remember NEPA. They are up and down all the time. So in concentrating on the commission, we have this issue of multiple stakeholders with their different vested interests always coming to us, you know, bringing up their issues from like alphabet A to Z. And then the commission has this issue of trying to meet up with everybody. Today, this one is pulling them here. Tomorrow, this one is pulling them here. And that also affects us as colleagues. Employees, I mean, because the lives of ourselves and our families are at stake sometimes in dealing with these different stakeholders and their needs. And that is why it is very pivotal that we employees struggle to get hazard allowance, because these issues give us headaches. Sometimes we go home and we don't sleep. And sometimes even when we try to sleep, you wake up with a headache because you didn't sleep properly, because you are sleeping and dreaming and seeing communities after you here and there. But we are still pushing for these hazard allowances, and we pray we would get them. For the uncertainty, our boards, before the board, we've had administrators here and there with their different agendas. We were promised when the board comes, things will be stable. The board is here. But the instability of the board and on implementation of policies is also causing that great uncertainty in us. We get information drought as a result of these. State offices don't know what's going on in headquarters. Headquarters don't know why state offices are not carried along. And it also results in allowances delay. Sometimes in my state office, you see us going to older colleagues and telling them, call your friend in Port Harcourt. Now, you ask them, waiting they happen now. Why they never pay this money? Why? Because of information drought. And it also, this uncertainty also affects projects and programs. Programs will be written on paper, they will not be implemented. They will be implemented halfway, they will be implemented fully, and the people who are to benefit from the implementation will not get it. And then you see this whole cloud of uncertainty on top of us. When will it leave and we can move forward is an issue. For complexity is the political aspect. In Nigeria, this no man factor is what is always giving us headache. If I don't know him, I can't go through that door. Someone who knows him will go through the door, but I'm better than the person. But because I can't go through that door, I am unable to move forward and bring up my ideas and get them implemented. So the ruling party today, one is here tomorrow, another one is here, and we know things, how they are done. If Madam Tonia has set this table, if I come, I'll put this blue away and put red, so that they will say, now Mashe put red. Whereas the blue and the red does not matter because it's the table that matters. So this political change here and there results to dissolution of board. One board comes up and cancels everything that has been going on but yet to be fully implemented, sets up their own. Whether the benefit is for the people or not, they don't care. All they just want is the name. In the aspect of traditional rulers, these people also are at loggerheads with us in the commission. This traditional ruler saying this is what he wants, another one saying no, this is what I want. Some saying you did for this, you didn't do for me. All those issues are causing a lot of issues and bringing the commission down. For the aspect of ambiguity, instability in our leadership is what is causing problem. Let me use the Buhari word from top to bottom. We see that everywhere there is unstable leadership. I remember I watched a video of white dogs in the Atlantica, and there was just a little water source. And the one who tended to be the manager, like you said, was there. It wanted to drink first. And it glared at every other one to stay away until it's done drinking. But the dog who is the leader among them just knew that there will be trouble here. And then the dog went to another snow and used his weight to break open the snow. And there was water there. And it allowed the other dogs to drink with it at the same time. That's leadership for you. But with regards to our leadership, because of the ambiguity of everything, things are not done the way they should. For the second question, how can we move forward? Even in the arena of VUGA, you ended your discussion with the positive aspect of vision, understanding, clarity, agility. If we put all these into the commission, in pushing it forward, into our directorates, and into us as individuals, we'll be able to see VUGA not as a threat, but as something we can look at the good side of it, turn it around, and move the commission forward. Thank you.
I think today has been a wonderful time out with you. And at this point, where is the coordinator? Coordinator, I think group photographs and I'm off.